Hey everyone, welcome to Keller Acres. Today I am making some Christmas candy. I'm starting with homemade peppermint patties. This is just going to be one of the many candies that I make for the upcoming holidays. So if you tune in to, or subscribe, I guess I should say, to our channel, you can find out all the other ones I'll be making along the way. But just getting started, I plan to make a bunch of different ones this year. I've already made caramels, so if you're interested in that, there is a video on caramels. I'm also going to be doing a different recipe of caramels coming up. I'm going to be doing a bourbon one. So if you're interested in that, watch for that. There's going to be other things I'm going to be doing with the bourbon also on that same video. So that will be coming up, but let's get started with these peppermint patties. What you're going to need is powdered sugar, evaporated milk, butter, peppermint extract, and some semi-sweet chocolate or dark chocolate, whatever you want to coat the peppermint patties with, and then either some coconut oil or shortening to mix with the chocolate when we go to melt that. I'm actually going to be using avocado oil shortening with mine. I love that stuff. If you haven't tried it, look for it. They have it at Target. I will show that to you in a little bit. But let's get started on the filling. So we are going to need 3 3/4 cup of powdered sugar. Have mine already measured out here to dump in, and you need your mixer with your beater attached. Okay, dump in our powdered sugar. Then we need 3 tablespoons of room temperature butter. Got my 3 tablespoons of butter here. We're gonna mix that butter and sugar together on low. Okay, next we're gonna add in our evaporated milk. Like I said, 1/4 cup of evaporated milk. Mine measured out. 2 teaspoons of peppermint extract. Then also I forgot to mention you need vanilla. I am going to use my homemade vanilla paste. I just made this a few days ago and it is really good. I made chocolate chip cookies with it the day after I made the paste, and I swear it was delicious. So if you haven't tried vanilla bean paste, so easy to make, you can use it right away. I have a video on it if you're interested, and it's so good. So anyway, 1/2 teaspoon is all this recipe calls for. I'm gonna add in a little more than that. And then you want to mix this on medium now. Okay, once that comes together, then we're gonna put it on a surface that's sprinkled generously with powdered sugar so we can get it rolled out. If this is hard to roll out, you can put a piece of wax paper over the top of it to help the process a little bit. I'm just gonna kind of see how it does first, and then if I need to, then I will cover it with actually I ran out of wax paper, so I'll be using parchment. I swear I have some wax paper somewhere, but I didn't see it when I looked. But parchment paper will work also if I can't find my wax paper. Okay. And I've got my pastry mat already all sprinkled nicely. So we're gonna roll this out, and then we're going to put it in the refrigerator to harden for at least an hour. You can do it longer. That way it'll be easier to cut into rounds, and then we'll be dipping it in chocolate. Whatever kind of chocolate that you want. Also, as you roll this out, you can roll it to really whatever thickness you want. The recipe says 1/4 inch, but it's just however thick you want your peppermint patties to be. Obviously, if you want them to be thicker, you can make them thicker. Okay, so actually chill your dough before rolling it. Much, much better. Found that out the hard way. Otherwise, it is way too sticky. So then you don't need to cover the top with wax paper. I have sampled this filling a few times as I've been working with it, and it is delicious. I don't have a small cookie cutter, so I'm going to be using a glass to cut mine. Kind of reminds me of a biscuit. You're going to want to put it onto some wax paper or parchment paper. And once I get all of these cut out, I'm going to chill them for a little bit before I dip them in the chocolate, just to harden them up a little bit again. That'll make it easier for dipping. just kind of gather your dough back into a ball after you cut some out. Flatten it out again, which is almost just easier to do with your hands since it kind of wants to stick to the rolling pin. All right, gonna plop this into the fridge and let it harden up a little bit, then we'll dip it in some chocolate. Okay, my peppermint patties have firmed up enough. I'm gonna go ahead and dip them. You're gonna need 12 ounces of chocolate melted together with 2 tablespoons of coconut oil or 2 tablespoons of shortening. I'm doing semi-sweet chocolate, and I used avocado oil shortening. So we'll get started here. Got my chocolate already melted. So I'm just gonna plop my little peppermint patties into the chocolate, and then I'm gonna put them back on this baking sheet so I can stick them back in either the fridge or the freezer to firm back up. Okay, plop my peppermint patties here in the chocolate. I'm gonna kind of just do one side and then use my little spatula to kind of help the other side, because with the chocolate being warm, it's gonna make these warm really fast. So I wanna kind of work quickly so that these don't completely come apart on me. You know what, actually, I'm going to just spread this on the top. It's really hard to dip these being the size that they are. So I'm gonna do it this way. Then we're gonna let this chocolate harden. Then I'm gonna flip them over and dip the other side. And to harden these up a little quicker, you can stick it in the freezer versus the fridge. That'll go a little faster. All right, gonna pop these in the freezer for a few minutes. Okay, they're nice and hardened. I stuck them in the freezer to harden them quicker. So now I can flip them over and get the other side done. And the great thing about when you've added something to your chocolate, like the shortening, it doesn't harden up really fast. So while these were hardening in the freezer, my chocolate stayed nice and melted. So I didn't have to worry about that. I think I'm gonna have just enough. Whoops, I forgot this one clear over here. This one's gonna be short a little bit of chocolate. That's okay. Again, you can always melt extra, but let's go ahead, sample this peppermint patty. Delicious. This is better than a York peppermint patty. Give these peppermint patties a try. Great addition to whatever Christmas candy you're making. And watch for a future video when I put all of my Christmas candy together to gift. Thanks for watching.